First, we will begin by sitting with our legs out in front of us in the sagittal plane. We're going to start with the flexion, extension, and hyperextension of the phalanges. We're going to do 4 of those in the sagittal plane. So you will flex, extend, and hyperextend. Flex, extend, hyperextend. And you will move on to the abducting and eversion of the tarsus joint 4 times, and then you will move on to the adducting and inversion of the tarsus. From here, we will move on to focusing on the ankle joint, and we will plantar and dorsiflex in the sagittal plane. After this, you're going to slowly roll down and lay down into a T. You'll bring your right leg up, and you're going to flex and extend your knee 4 times in the sagittal plane. And then from there, flex your knee and outwardly rotate it 4 times, and then inwardly rotate it 4 times. You can switch legs and do the exact same thing. Next, we are going to move on to focusing on our hips.
Spread across the country.
4 times on each leg. From here, we're just going to go into some abdominal work. So after you finish your 4th one, you sit up and sit down, really using your breath to engage those abs. From here, we will now spiral up to standing so that we can begin working with our spine. We're going to start with sequentially rolling down in the sagittal plane from the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. Rolling back up and hyperextending your back, and then extending and then flexing at the hip joint so that your back will be flat and completely extended in the sagittal plane, and you will repeat it 1 more time. Next, we will go into some lateral bending in the transverse plane. We will begin by reaching over with your left arm and rolling back up in the sagittal plane and repeating that to each side twice. From here, we will work on rotating our spine on the transverse plane by reaching across with our right arm and behind with our left arm and repeating that twice in each direction. Now we work on our scapula by elevating and relevating at the same time and depressing and plying at the same time, and we will do that 4 times. Next, we will AB duct, go to neutral, and then AB duct 4 times. From here, we will then use our tendu exercise to practice the forward tilt of the scapula and the return to forward tilt of the scapula. And we will do this exercise front and side on each leg. And then from here, we will practice our upward and downward rotation of our scapula by doing some jumping jacks, 4 to each side of the room. When you finish the 4th jumping jack on the last side, you're going to jump down into a plank and begin flexing and extending your elbows in the sagittal plane and jump back to standing so that we can work on our radial ulnar joint by doing the Macarena. So as you can see, we are pronating and supinating over and over again and really focusing on that position. Now we're going to work on the wrist joint by flexing, extending, hyperextending, and AB and AD ducting. We'll do that 4 times, 2 to each side. Next, we are working on the shoulder joint. So here we are hyper-abducting and then hyper-adducting in the coronal plane. And then we are hyperflexing and hyperextending each arm in the sagittal plane. And then we are horizontally flexing and extending our arms in the transverse plane. Now we are in complete flexion and then to a complete extension in the sagittal plane, and we are stepping side to side to complement this. From there, we are doing the grapevine to abduct and then to abduct our arms twice to each side. And this is in the coronal plane. Next, we are utilizing our fingers, so we'll reach the upward diagonal and extend, flex in the side to side, and abduct, reaching downward, and then when we contract, we are adducting our fingers, and we will end with 3 reaches up and down to our heart.